This is Rarran. He is an ex-pro Hearthstone player. He's also one of the biggest streamers to ever play the game, but he hasn't played Hearthstone in a very long time. So I'm gonna see if he can recognize what a real Hearthstone card looks like today. Also, please subscribe, helps out the channel a ton. Okay, here is the first card.
Living Nightmare. After this attacks, destroy one of your mana crystals. And they balanced it about right too. I don't think it's real. I don't think Blizzard would have the courage to print this one. I don't know. Okay. It's really big.
It is really big.
It's more exciting than the 4-mana 7/7. I guess if you want to make like a headline. I don't know. Is it real? I can't. Wait. Are you telling me at the end? Am I basically out looking at all of them? I'm on the fence. Like on one hand, like yeah, I could see it, but it's a little too well designed for Blizzard.
Okay, what about this one?
Overzealous Feaster, Battlecry, discover a spell. Your opponent picks one from the leftovers. Huh, that's a really cool design. Man, like I could see it. The least believable part of this is the stamp under the tech, the little gift package thing. Is that a real expansion?
So I'm gonna actually tell you this right now. This is not a real card. I left this purely as the custom card, what it is, to see if you would remember the stamp behind the card. And yes, this card is not real. So I'm glad you caught that. Okay. What do you think of this design, though? I think it's really cool.
It is really cool. It's how you know it's fake. Jailbreaker or FOM. How does Dormant work? It's like I play it, and then it's every upkeep, it ticks down one.
Yeah. You can't interact with it whatsoever.
So the turn I play it, I can't. The next turn, I can't. The turn after that, I can?
Yes.
And is it summoning sick?
Yes, it will. Unless it has, like, Rush or something.
Man, that sucks. Battlecry, discard 3 cards, and this awakens, return them to your hand. Interesting. I really like this card. The stamp looks diagonal.
So this stamp is real, I'll tell you that. This is when they started doing mini sets, which is basically halfway through the expansion, they released 35 cards on top of the original 135. So this card would be from a mini set.
Well, I'm a big fan of 3-mana 5/5s. I'm a King Mukla enthusiast. I hope it's real.
What about this one?
Evil Twin. After your opponent plays a minion, summon a random minion of the same cost to attack it. And they would trade damage then?
Yeah.
Almost caught you. Yeah, this one's not real.
What makes you think that?
I think in practice, it's going to be, well, I don't know, maybe not. Yeah. I was going to say in practice, it's worse than stuff like Explosive Runes, but I guess I can see it being okay sometimes. It's so hard to evaluate, man. It depends on the format you're playing this in, what the pool it's rolling from is, but also it's not a real card.
Okay.
I don't think you would make the real card like some rare mage spell. That'd be kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, you're a better producer than that, Rarran. That's what
you're 100% correct. But I will tell you this: I didn't make the card very flashy. I had to make it sure it blended in with the rest of them.
Right.
All right. What about this one?
Potion Crafter, Caligos. That was the dragon thing.
Yes.
Remember there was some mean streets of Gadgetzin fan fiction that they were actually dragons or something. The Kazathis too, the Reno one. Discover any 2 spells with cost equal to your max mana and mix them into a potion. Huh, that's really cool. Man, that's really cool. I love that design. Might be real. I hope it's real.
Yeah, we're gonna get through all the cards first, and then we'll swindle them, or we'll make the list shorter and shorter as you go, because then you'll start making the tough decisions.
Keeper of the Groove. Oh, I hope it's real. Whenever you gain armor, restore how much health to your hero. What have they done to my boy Silverback Patriarch? This is like the 1/6 armor thing. Yeah, this can't be real. It's too funny.
What about this one?
Let's see. Burnout. Deal 10 damage to a minion after 3 turns in your hand. Destroy this. Huh. That's a cool mechanic. Sort of encouraged to use it sooner rather than later. Yeah, I really like that design. Yeah, I don't know if it's real. It seems like all these star expansion things are like spicy mage cards.
So I will give you this. The star expansion was the newest one. It was called Showdown in the Badlands, which was like a Western theme expansion.
Like cowboys?
Yeah, like cowboys. Yeah, I'll show you the. Give me a sec while you decipher this card. I'll grab you the Reno card so you can see it. Sorry, did you think this could be real or fake?
Man, I could see it being real. Again, with the mage rare thing, maybe you would slip it in like this. Wild Gill Holmes. If your deck has no duplicates, discover 3 cards your opponent has played this game. Huh. Man, that can't... Well, I guess on curve, it's not as good. Man, that can't be real. I feel like it's too good, but I don't know. Drawing cards isn't even that good in this game anymore. Everything draws cards. You can't run out of cards in Hearthstone, so what does it matter to draw cards? I get 3 weird options sometimes, I guess. Well, you said it's Western themed. I mean, man, unless they AI generated... No, that looks like Hearthstone art. I don't know. This looks real. I don't know. You know, like most of these look real, you know, like they're very believable.
I will say I did spend a lot of time looking at these like custom made cards to make sure that it wasn't just completely obvious what the real one was. Some of these were really cool and I thought I would show them to you because they're just really interesting. But it will be really interesting to see if you can get what the real card is. Here's the new Reno card in case you're curious. This is not a part of the mini game thing we're doing here.
And I can't believe you're even tryharding the 12 card mini game. Like you're
Listen,
determined
dude,
never to take an L again.
spicy.
You know, it's like you don't want me coming back ever. You know, I see how it
Come on, man. You're always welcome.
Oh, thank you. See, Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, empty the enemy board and limit it to 1 space for a turn. Empty the enemy board. It's just plague wins. It's like it doesn't even trigger death rattles. It's just
nope. It completely removes it. Also, remember when I talked about dormant minions? It actually removes dormant minions too. This is the only card in the game that interacts with dormant minions. Everything's gone.
Oh boy. Wait, and this is a neutral hero?
Yeah, this is a neutral hero.
Wow, they really made board clears spicy in this game. I mean, it just seems like every game's gonna play the same though, right? Like you go threat, answer, threat, answer, threat, answer, threat, answer, and every answer ends the game. So it's like as soon as they don't, or sorry, every threat ends the game. So as soon as they don't have the answer, you lose.
You pretty much just summed up what Hearthstone is in the year 2023, or I guess 2024. It's pretty much that. We'll see. Let me see your opinion on this card. Do you think this card's good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's fun. It kind of gets a little tiresome after a while because you know they're gonna play it at 8 and there's not much you can really do to stop it, especially if you're like a board centric deck. But it's a cool animation. It's a fun thing to play with, especially because Highlander is not as good as it used to be.
What's the animation do?
You know, like, oh my god, here, I'll just show you what it is. I can't really describe it. And then there's only like one spotlight to show you like you can only have one thing on the board.
Oh man. I got to figure out who made it. We have some open VFX positions for the Bazaar.
Okay. All right, back to the mini game. What about this one?
Entropic Explosion. Blizzard would never use that word. Cast a random 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 cost spell. Targets chosen randomly. I love this design. It's probably just terrible, but maybe not. I don't know. I guess it's Yogg-Saron with extra steps, huh? I wish it counted up. I think that would be escalating tension and make it more fun. This one just gets lamer over time. But that's how I know it's not real, because if they tested it, they would have flipped it, I think.
Okay, in that folder. All right, what about this one?
Battlecry, reveal card in your hand. It costs 2 less, and that would be a random card, or you pick?
It'd be a random card.
That's super interesting. I mean, it's believable. I could see it being real. Good flavor, good design. Man, this is tough. Like a lot of these are believable. You know, you said only one of them is real.
Only one of them is real, yeah.
I guess like Finley's art is real, but that doesn't mean the card design is. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
You have 2 more cards to get through, and then I will reveal the cards that you said were fake or not real, and so we can trim it down, then we'll go again.
Electro Boom. Deal 69 damage to a minion. Nice. Overload 3. I wish it was real. Fuck that minion in particular, huh? Does this game have like a stuffy doll card?
What's a stuffy doll?
Redirect damage minion. When this takes damage, redirect it.
They definitely have made it. I can't tell you if I've ever seen it played. I don't think I have. So it's in there for sure. There's definitely a card that does that, but I don't think it's ever been played.
Yeah, this card can't be real. It's too good. It should cost at least 420 mana.
All right, so this is the last one.
High Noon Duelist. Death Rattle. Both players draw. Destroy the card that costs less. Ooh, I like that. Play war. That's pretty cool. Oh man, I hope that's real. That's a cool design.
So now that we've done through this, I'll let you know. So this card I showed you, which was the Overzealous Feaster, is not a real card. You caught that because of the emblem in the back. This card, the Evil Twin, is not a real card. You did say it was not real. This card, I think, would be just one of the most unfun experiences probably in the game, because you either high roll as hell or just clear a minion for 3 mana. It doesn't really feel that fun.
That's what made it so believable.
I guess that's fair. This one is not real. Keeper of the Groove, unfortunately. Really good play on words. There actually was an expansion called Festival of Legends, which was catered around music, and each class got its own genre, and Druids was hippie. So this actually fit in theme what the expansion was, but they did not print a card like this. This card is not real. I think you're right. I don't think they would actually use the word entropic in the game. And yeah, obviously this one was not real. I'm going to put 2 cards up against each other, and you're going to tell me which one you think is more real, okay?
Right on, man. Yeah, let's do it. I whittled it down more than I thought. Okay. Like almost half of them. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Man, this one's tough. I have to say which one's more real.
Which one do you think is actually, yeah, like real? I guess which one do you think is more fake is a better.
I wish I knew the expansion stamps. Like they all look fake to me, you know?
You could ask me. I will let you know. You could ask me any question you want.
Well, just like what is that icon on Living Nightmare? What is that? The strawberry Sasquatch thing?
That's it's United in Stormwind. That's the lion that's on like the emblem for, I guess, the Alliance, I think is what it is. So that was a real expansion. United Stormwind was a real expansion. So you could ask yourself, I guess, would Living Nightmare be in an expansion called United Stormwind?
I mean, I see people running through the streets. So, you know, like I think the art is on brand, the name probably. I don't know. You could have just kept all of it the same, but then like changed the text, you know, like, I don't know, equally believable to me.
I will say this too, just to maybe make this slightly easier. They have printed cards that manipulate your own mana crystals and your opponents recently. So this type of effect is believable. I will give you one more chance to whether or not you think, or not one more chance, but I'll give you a little bit more time to ask yourself if you think that Wild Gill Homes is more fake than Living Nightmare.
Like that art is definitely real, but that name is not very believable, I guess. It just doesn't read that well. Man, yeah, the more I read this one, the more Living Nightmare seems like the more believable card. But yeah, because I don't know how exciting this is. It basically just draws you a bunch of cards from your opponent. That's like every other card in Hearthstone, right? Is it that? But like the Reno effect felt spicier. Just drawing 3 just doesn't seem good enough, you know, on a 4/5 in 2024. Burnout or Potion Crafter Caligos? I mean, Potion Crafter Caligos is really cool. I would say that's the more believable one to me, but maybe it's because I want it to be. Like, it seems like a pretty cool effect. And yeah, they like the potion stuff with Kazakis. It was fun. It played well. I would expect them to do it again. The name makes sense. Burnout, it's a cool design. They just don't tend to do these like drawbacky type of designs in Hearthstone much anymore. Not like this, at least. I don't know, something about it feels a little off-brand design-wise, but it's hard to put my finger on what.
Okay. So you think Burnout's the more fake card?
Yeah. Obvious Cheat seems more real between these two, but they're both, like, the right effect is cooler.
Okay, so you think Obvious Cheat's the more real one?
I do, but only because I don't. It is a little less cool than the Duelist one. The Duelist one sounds awesome, but the Duelist one would be like a tech request maybe. The left one would be way easier to ship. Yeah, I'm gonna say the left one's more real. Obvious Cheat.
Okay. More real. All right, so now you got 4 cards left. Between this card and this card, which one do you think is more real?
Oh man. Yeah, that's super tough. They both seem real. My friend's back. I'm gonna get him a watermelon or something. He's like a foot away and very demanding for snacks. Oh shit, I'm gonna try strawberry today. I haven't done that yet.
You just have a stockpile of food like right next to you, ready for this?
I have a bunch of fruit that it's mostly for me. I'm just eating it all day. But I went shopping yesterday because I wanted to try a variety of deer snacks. I found out they like basically apples and they hate everything else. And the green apples are the best so far. We're about to try strawberry and watermelon for the first time. Okay. No, I'm glad I'm recording. I'm very invested in these experiments, actually. I'm learning. But mostly his mom drops him off here, and then I'm like the daycare for him. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna try watermelon.
Good.
I got a strawberry. I don't know if you like these. Oh. But they're also kind of blind. I don't know. He's like sniffing around for apples. He really likes apples. I'm gonna get an apple too, just to make sure he's not disappointed. And I gotta cut him in half because the whole one doesn't fit in his mouth yet. It's hard to do while holding the laptop. Yeah, little guy. I'm gonna leave these down here for you. He gets a little scared if I move too fast. I don't know. I set him down there on the stairs and then we're good to go. All right, man. Sorry about that. I'm good.
No, you're good, dude. You're good.
I'm getting B-roll for you.
No, I appreciate it. It's something else. It's actually might be the most entertaining part of the whole video is you feeding a deer.
He ran off a bit for a sec, but he's coming off. He's going straight for the apple. He loves the apple.
That's gotta be awesome, man. If you're doing like all these video calls for your company, and then like the deer just pops up.
All right, where were we, Rarran? I was getting crushed in your 12-card choice game.
No.
Oh man, you
shot the
mentioned Reno wiping dormant cards earlier, which sounds like the kind of thing Reddit would complain about. So that makes Rafam feel believable to me. Maybe they're trying to make a good dormant card for once. But it's just it's so bad still. I still think the left one's more believable. The right one is just so bad. I don't think it's balanced right for the current year.
Okay.
It should be like a 10-10, and your opponent should discard 3 cards, and we can delete the dormant text so it reads a little smoother.
Okay, so we'll leave that card. Between these 2 cards, you have 3 left after, or I guess 2 left after this pair.
Oh man, I think Potion Crafter's more real between these 2.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Obvious Cheat has the word obvious in it. That's the kind of bullshit you'd pull Rarran. Obviously, that was the real one.
Imagine I did that. That'd be crazy.
I'm going to say Obvious Cheat is more real. But
okay.
I'm not falling. I don't know if I'm falling my gut on that. I don't know.
Okay. All right. All right. These are the last 2 cards. Which one do you think is the real card?
Wait, I'm not seeing. Wait, okay, so Obvious Cheat or Living Nightmare. I think Obvious Cheat's the real one. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say you're trying to crack a joke. That's my best guess. Because honestly, between these last 4, it's like equal odds for me. You know, this is the end of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And
okay.
I'm properly fucked because it's 25%. But yeah, I'm gonna guess on Obvious Cheat for pun-based reasons.
Okay. I will let you know right now. Obvious Cheat is not the real card.
Fuck.
This card is really cool. I would actually be a absolute huge fan of this card. But I think in terms of balancing, like this is just my opinion, it might be too good.
You'd need counterplay for that. Yeah, I think like Emperor Thorson is like a similar thing to this, right? And then you can do some crazy OTK that shouldn't be allowed. And then you guys have had Bran legal for like 7 years now or something, right? So that's another.
Yeah, he got rotated this year because people hated his guts. So he's gone. But yeah, you're right. You want to hear something crazy too, dude? Emperor Thorson is currently a 5-mana 4/4 instead of a 6-mana 4/4.
And unplayable. Or what?
And unplayable. You're Living Nightmare is not a real card either. I actually would think this card would be okay in the current game. It's a pretty substantial drawback, but you do get a lot of tempo. And if you're playing like a Zoo Warlock deck, I don't think your mana at some point matters. So this would be fine. But yeah, this was not the real card either. Jailbreaker Reform is not the real card either. This card, I think, is probably, like you said, too weak. Potion Master Caligos. Unfortunately, this card's not real either. This card's really cool. Yeah, I saw this card when I was going through the custom cards. I'm like, damn, this is actually a really good card. But no, it is. It's not a real card, unfortunately.
And the custom designs are so good. I'm really excited about having like a custom card community for the Bazaar so we can farm them for ideas. It's like we're gonna have so many cards we need to pump into the game. It's like you're crowdsourcing it creates this like Darwinian process, and then the best stuff gets upvoted, you know, and then. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. You want to hear something interesting too? I was gonna do something similar like this idea with one of the Blizzard developers, but then the legal department told me I couldn't do it because they don't want any idea from like the community that they stole their idea and put it in their game. So I don't know if it's gonna be the same thing for the Bazaar, but they're not allowed to do any videos with custom cards because of that philosophy.
I remember I was in China once for a Hearthstone tournament, and they had Blizzard Land. It was like Disneyland, but everything was Blizzard themed, like giant Hearthstone characters and everything. I really wanted to go. It was like an hour away by train or something.
Damn.
All the other Hearthstone pros didn't want to go. I ended up not doing it. I wish I did though. I wanted to.
Who said no? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but it's super illegal is the funny part. They just built Blizzard Land and Blizzard doesn't approve of it and is making no money from it. They can't do anything.
Is it still there? Wait,
I think so. I think it's like a clone of Orlando or something. Maybe not. Who knows?
I thought you were going to say like Blizzard decided to like allow China to use their IP for something like that.
No, I think it was super illegal. They're just like, what are you going to do about it?
What? Okay, I got to look that up. That's crazy. Okay. Here is Burnout. Again, really cool design. I actually think this card's pretty well balanced. But you're right. Blizzard doesn't really print cards like this because it would feel really bad just to lose a card. All right, here is Wild Gil Holmes. Unfortunately, this card's not real. I do think the art is from the cinematic that Showdown the Badlands is from. Maybe I'm wrong. It's got to be somewhere close. But yeah, this card would be absolutely garbage in this point in the game, which means the real card, dude, is High Noon Duelist.
Oh, wow. That's cool. They did like a custom tech on like a common, I like that.
I will say, because you haven't played the game in a while, the new developers have been really good about making each common like pretty unique, even though they're still like the pack fillers per se, but there's nothing like just Magma Ranger on its own anymore. Each common is like interesting, has a cool effect, and the flavor of each of them is really well done. This is like probably one of my favorite cards of the year. I think it's not good, unfortunately, but it's just a really well designed card, especially for Showdown in the Badlands, because it fits so much in flavor for this.
That is a cool design. Yeah, that's how you knew I'd never get it.
Yeah.
Well played, Rarran.
I will say there was a lot of cards I would have picked for this, but yeah, this one's really good. I'm going to show you what the dormant card looks like before I forget. I want to see your thoughts on this.
I have seen a couple of cards on Twitter, I think, from the new set. And yeah, the designs seem cool. I don't know. They're trying some stuff that they weren't willing to do before. It's cool to see where it goes.
I mean, if you want to, I can show you some cards if you want to see them, but I'll show you this one right now.
Sure, man.
Here's a dormant one. Excavating is a keyword that they introduced in Showdown of the Badlands. Basically, to excavate, you just play a card that says Battlecry Excavate.
Wait, so every time you excavate, it speeds up by 2?
Yes.
Oh my.
What do you think of this card?
That's spicy. I would have to. I can't evaluate it without knowing the excavate cards. But it's if it's like something they keyword, they want to make it a thing, then they probably make sure those cards are like a meta deck, and then you sort of work backwards from.
I'll help you out. Let me say the Excavate Warrior package is playable.
Oh, there's one for like every class. It's like a neutral thing.
So they separated Showdown the Badlands in 2 different areas. Some of them are like the excavating classes, so they got actually excavated cards in their class cards for this expansion. Other ones didn't. I'm not gonna go through the whole mechanic. It's the whole thing. The Warrior package for Excavate is good.
No, it's cool, man. I don't know. It's a very iconic stat line.
Yeah. So this is here's the story time. When I went to BlizzCon, this is one of the cards that they left for the very end. They showed it at BlizzCon, and when everyone saw it in front of me, they're all like, "Wow, that's the worst card I've ever seen in my life." And yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't think I've ever seen it actually tag.
No, but it's so big, Rarran.
It's unfortunate. It's a really cool card, and it feels so bad because when you're so close to actually getting it awakened, the Reno Jackson comes down and you just fucking lose the game. You just wasted all that time for absolutely no reason.
Oh yeah, it gets rid of dormant cards. Yeah, that's neat. You know, Magic had a design like dormant in the very first expansion that came out right when I started playing card games in 2006. It's called Time Spiral. They made this mechanic called Suspend, and you basically invest some mana in a creature, and then it's dormant for a few turns, and then it comes in. And they found out that as soon as it came in, every player in paper tried attacking with it, but they couldn't because it was summoning sick. So they ended up tacking on haste onto it, charge, and there's like no ways to interact with it. Like you can't mess with other people's Suspend very easily. There's like one card that does it or something. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised they made this a thing, but then, I don't know, the big legendary guy's disappointing. That sucks. He's so big. Yeah, they should have made him a 32-32. Would it even help?
I don't think it would. Maybe it would have.
What if he was 100-100? Like, okay, if he's bad at 4 mana, 6 dormant, you should make him like 100-100. Then he's really spicy at least, right?
Holy moly. That'd be incredible. Maybe they're just so scared that like if it was 100-100, there'd be some interaction that would be super stupid. But I mean, I think even at like 100-100, it'd probably still be bad. I'm going to show you this card too, just so you can see this, because this is a familiar face. Quick draw means when a card enters your hand this turn.
Oh, when it enters your hand?
Yeah, this turn. So if you top deck it, you get the quick draw effect.
They buffed Serenite?
Bro, Serenite's absolute garbage in the current year. I was just gonna put it out there.
I'm never reinstalling it, Rarran.
Yeah, don't save yourself. All right, I'll show you one more card. Let me hear your thoughts on this card. I will say that this card got a lot of support this expansion.
Blind Eye Sharpshooter. After you play, now I deal 2 damage to a random enemy and draw a spell. Random enemy, and so I could hit face. Huh? And then switch. What does that mean?
So after you play a Naga, it'll deal 2 damage. You draw a spell, and then after you play a spell, it'll deal 2 damage, and you draw a Naga, and then it keeps going until you run out of mana.
Oh, that's way better. Whoa, yeah, that's pretty nuts. I mean, it depends how cheap they are, I guess, but seems good. I remember there's some nutty 4 mana one.
This card was possible to kill your opponent on turn 3. What they could do, well, what Demon Hunter can do with this. This is absolutely disgusting. It's not broken because they nerfed it from like 5 health to 3 health. So it's not like you can't just drop it and then your opponent can't answer. They just lose the game on the spot. But if this card, if they just have the nuts, the game's over. Example of this, maybe like Pyro Warrior from Mean Streets. Like if they just have the hand, you lose the game.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, dude, that's I think that's probably good enough.
Yeah, it's cool to see card design. The new team seems good at it, and there's a bunch of these like digital mechanics they're working in. So always something to learn. Yeah, it's hard to imagine games as these like living, ongoing things. But yeah, like some of these card games just live forever. Like Magic's the highest retention game ever. People play for a lifetime. You can keep building on it forever. Hearthstone's sort of that way, except with Hearthstone, it's harder to keep a player base over time because you don't have an open economy. So when you release new stuff, people can't like sell the old stuff to get the new standard deck. They have to like spend more money, and so it's kind of churn and burny. But still, it's gonna have players forever. You know what I mean? Like you, Rarran, you're stuck. You're married to the game.
You have a spawn the bazaar, my guy?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, enjoy. A few more months of Hearthstone, and the bazaar's coming.
You hear that? Couple months. Let's go.
A big few.
Okay.
Several few. But yeah, let's do this again sometime. Bazaar is coming out this year, for sure this time, I promise. But it's been coming along really well. For those of you guys interested in checking out the Bazaar, make sure you follow on socials, Discord especially, and we'll get you into the closed beta when that's up here in a bit.